Welcome here. Thank you so much. This is how to get your sex groove back after a baby, right? Yes, when babies arrive in families, the moment a baby shows up, the dynamics of your marriage changes, right? First of all, a new person has come into your home, and that new person is going to want all the attention in this life that he can get from you, right? So, and this new baby that comes in wanting all the love, care, attention, support will usually affect every other aspect of your life, including your marriage. And so if you're not careful, most people usually allow the babies that come into their marriage to destroy the romance, the harmony, the love that is between the couple. So we usually have couples, rather than their romance growing, rather than the marriage becoming better and the rest, they spend all their energy parenting. They spend all their energy raising kids. And this is why most of the time, once these kids grow up, the couple notices that there's nothing again between them, like there's nothing existing again between them. And usually they just discover that they are housemates. I have no feeling for him again. He has no feeling for me again, and all of that. And that destruction happened, the damage happened from when the baby showed up and they did not handle it well. So today, I want to just share with you some tips that can help you better the sexual life in your marriage after the baby comes up. So the first thing that I want you to focus on is a relationship between the two of you, right? And what does it mean for you to have a good relationship, to have good romance? Is a journey. You have to start it right from even when the pregnancy started, right? How empathetic are you guys to each other during the pregnancy, and now that the baby has come in, have you also be into each other, talking, spending time with each other, having date nights together, which must not necessarily be out of the house, right? You can have it in front of your TV. You can also have date nights in front of your phone, watching YouTube or a movie, Netflix or any other movie together, right? So that's an option. That's fine. So what is the harmony like, this soul ties like for you guys? Have you guys been discussing, chit-chatting, communicating, gossiping, right? Like just being involved, being that friends that you are. Because the thing about it is that once a baby arrives and shows up in your life, in your marriage, it is more like your marriage is starting afresh again. Because everything that was before the baby came, you have to now start considering the presence of this human being, and will have to adapt to the new realities that you have in your marriage. And this is why we usually tell people that when you're going to marriage, you must ensure that you're very flexible, because things will happen that will require flexibility and adaptability. So if you build this relationship very well, when the baby comes in, you can move to the next thing, which I'll call the sensate focus, right? The sensate focus is actually when you and your partner get to touch each other sensually, not sexually. So you are not going for the sex organs, you are not going for the genitals, but rather you are more or less like trying to connect with this person on a sensual level, right? So staring at the person is actually this essential feeling, cool one. Just staring at the person, looking at this person, how you like their face, their nose, their lips, their ears. So I'd like to ask you, when last did you just stare at your spouse for maybe a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, right? It could be a form of cool meditation. Just using your eyes right now to just travel through the person's body, appreciating the person's body like a work of art. For those of us that did literature, we used to have something called appreciation of poems. When we get to review this poem, look at it from the writer's perspective, from the listener's perspective, look at it in context and out of context, and just appreciate everything about it. So you may want to start doing it. And this is not only for men, women can also do this, right? So you get to just look at your husband's body again, go through, just pay attention to his body, every contour in his body, what you like about his body, what is cool, what is okay. Somebody's aging here, and so this is appearing, right? For both parties, you have to do this sensate focus, touches, hugs, light kisses on the forehead, holding of hands, cuddling, right? So you're using your smelling the person's hair, smelling the person's neck, right? You're just listening to the person's voice, having the person whisper into your ear, whispering also into the person's ear, doing things that is sensual, right? Just sensual, using your 5 senses to appreciate this person's body and this person's existence, right? If you do that, excuse me, if you're able to move from connecting with this person on a soul tie level, your communication is superb, you guys are always talking, you're empathetic, right? Now you move to the sensual level where people begin to touch and all of that. Of course, the time will come that you will both be comfortable to want to move further to having sex. So it is like starting sex all over from the beginning again, imagining that the two of you are virgins. You will not just rush and want to go straight into penetration. No, it does not work like that. You definitely want to go through the process of friendship, the process of touching, the process of caressing, right? Caressing with clothes on, caressing with clothes off, down, touching of genitalias before you go to penetration. So once a baby comes, you have to go through this journey. Yes, you may have to go through this journey. Some women may be ready for sex 6 weeks after, some may not be until about after 2 months or 3 months, and that is fine, because what usually happens is that after sex, the libido of women drops. Why does it drop? Instinctively, when it comes to sex, humans have sex because by nature, biologically, we have sex to procreate. So the moment a baby arrives, our brain gets that information that we have achieved the goal of sex. So naturally, everything that would naturally push you, your body to want to have sex, will drop, because right now we have a baby to take care of. This does not only happen to women, it also happens to men, right? It also happens to men, because all of a sudden the man wants to provide, wants to protect for this little cutie that has now come into his life. So usually it will drop. Yes, it drops more for women, but then we have also seen men experiencing the same drop in their libido or in their hormone, especially for men who were there in the delivery room seeing their wife go through all that stress. They usually will not want to have the woman go through that stress again, and so will just avoid sex altogether. There have been one man who completely did not want to have sex again with his wife, just seeing the wife go through that. So what you can do in that situation is just allow the woman to recover, right? Her body should recover firmly. If the body does not recover with time, if after 1 month, 2 months, sex is still challenging, you should contact your doctor for proper medical advice. Yes, because of breastfeeding, if you're doing exclusive breastfeeding, the vagina is going to be dry, so it is okay for you to want to use a lubricant here and there to be able to make things easier, right? So if your communication becomes better, sensate focus comes in, you guys share chores, right? So support each other, you do chores together and the rest. It will help the bonding between the two of you to get better, right? And now it's not about sex. You know, these days we just hear people using the word sex, but that is not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be what we call love making, and love making is over a period of time. Love making is over it's not something that just happened with the penis going into the vagina. It is from talking, soul ties, we connect with each other, we hug each other, we feel safe with each other, we trust each other, then before we open up our bodies to each other. That's a full process of love making. When you want to revive sex and bring back hot sex to your marriage after a baby comes in, you should be ready to go through this particular process. And there's a counsel that I want to give to everyone who is watching this right now or listening to this, is that do not, as much as it is within your power, your baby should not sleep with you on the same bed. I repeat, your baby should not sleep with you on the same bed. Why will I say this? Is the fact that Even most hospitals, when a baby is born, the baby is not put side by side with the mother. It's usually put in a cot. So from birth, the baby has been trained and raised to sleep separately from the parents. Yes, I know because of convenience, you want to just lie down and put the breast in the baby's mouth to breastfeed the baby. Many people don't want to go through the stress of waking up, picking the baby, and breastfeeding the baby, returning the baby back to the cot. I know you may not want to do that, but that is actually what is best for your marriage. It may be conveniency for you for the 1 year, 6 months, 2 years that you breastfeed for, right? Yes, 6 months exclusive breastfeeding is recommended, and 2 years breastfeeding is recommended for babies generally. Now, for this period of time, if you keep your baby with you on the same bed, it automatically means that at the slightest turn to want to touch your spouse, your baby can easily wake up. And when your baby easily wakes up, your sex does not happen, and that frustrates sexual intimacy in your marriage. And if that continues for 1 year plus, and the rest, including the days of pregnancy, you discover that by the time that child grows up to leave your bedroom, there's almost no more sexual relationship in your marriage. And before you think of going through this process of love making again, another baby may have showed up. This is the reason why many couples who are married and have children, they are 15 years, 20 years, 25 years old, 30 years old in marriage, they are getting divorced, and you are getting shocked. The truth is that from the beginning, the marriage died several years ago when the baby started coming in. Babies will always want attention, but then you must know that I exist, right? So it is more or less like this. I exist, my wife exists, before Akon exists, and before Kinland exists. So they don't exist before us. We don't live for them. In reality, we do not live for them. Yes, we care for them, we are responsible for them, we cater to them, but we do not live for them. That's not what we live for. We live for ourselves. It is in the cause of living for ourselves that we are responsible for them and responsible to them, right? You have to get that straight. So from the beginning, remove your baby from sleeping with you on the same bed. Get a cot. You can go to a pawn shop. You can go to a place where you can find fairly used things to buy. You can go to people who may be doing backyard sale or property sale and find these different things. Not that. That's not the only thing you can do. You can find people who can gift it to you. They are churches, NGOs usually organize things like shop for free, where you can get baby calls, you can get baby cribs, and your babies get to sleep there. It may not be so easy for the mother to always pick the baby, breastfeed, and take the baby back, especially if the mother went through cesarean section. So for things like that, I would usually advise that the man becomes responsible for that. I did that, right? Become responsible for anytime the baby cries or anytime the baby is to be fed, I stand up, I pick up the baby from the cot, gives him to the mother. After feeding, I return it back because it's our baby, right? Now, if you do these things with time, the sex in your life, the fire in the sex in your life will be rekindled, right? And don't get shocked or frustrated that during the first times that you'll be returning back to sex, the vagina might be wide, right? Of course, it has stretched wide and it's opened up to be able to receive and accommodate the head and the shoulders of your baby. It's going to take time for it to come back, right? It's going to take time for that to be hid. So what you do in that situation, what you have to do in that circumstance is something that is simple, very simple. Kegel exercises, pelvic exercises will help to strengthen the muscle. And all you need to do is to be patient. Enjoy your spouse's new body. Learn to enjoy each other. Live in the reality of now. Like I usually tell people, something simple, that sex is an experience, not an activity. It is not what you do to me. It is not what I do to you. It is what we do for each other to experience something. And sex should always be an adventure. You should be willing to say, I want to try something new. I want to experience something new. And this experience is not all about the physical act. It starts from the emotional connection that you share with each other as a couple. Do not allow children come in and destroy your marriage and kill your marriage, because right now many parents who are out there are just co-parenting. They are housemates. The intimacy in their marriage is practically zero. Don't let that happen to your marriage, right? So if you want to make this to come back, you have to just follow this little process, and with time, your sexual life will be amazing. And of course, marriage is more than sex. This is why you should focus on communication, focus on intimacy, focus on the connection between you and your spouse in everything general, the harmony, the romance. That is what is going to determine if the sex is sweet, will be sweet or not. My name is Earl and I'm all right. Thank you so much for following till now. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, share it. And if you have any questions or you want to contact me or any of our counselors for counseling or therapy, use the description showing on your screen. You rock.